Hi everybody, your Portly Paladin here again. Yeah, I'm getting ready to go out to a job interview. That's why I'm kind of a little bit dressed up here, in case you were wondering. Um, but before I went, I decided I wanted to sit down and do a quick video. I wanted to kind of talk about a couple things that I've been thinking about over the last, I'd say 24 hours or so. Um, it's kind of I guess it's a subject that really kind of bothers me in a lot of ways. Um, but what it is basically is how being big can really affect your life in a lot of ways. Um, and I'm not talking about the obvious ways. I know I've sort of touched on this before and talked about it, but I'm not talking so much about, health and things like that. I'm talking about the ways that people don't think. I'm a gamer, as I've mentioned on here before. I love gaming. I even did a video about going to Gen Con last year, which was sort of a reward that my wife gave me for losing the weight I did last year at that point. But this year, because of me not working and the situation being what it is, it was looking like I was not really going to be able to afford to go. I could possibly afford to go if I could go with someone, split costs and things like that, but that just wasn't going to happen. I couldn't find anybody to go with, so I pretty much had given up on it. Until a podcast I listened to, Happy Jack's RPG podcast, someone on there mentioned that different game companies were looking for volunteers to run their games, and if you did, they were giving you a hotel room to stay in. So I had sent an email message out to several different companies whose games I enjoy, and the one who contacted me back was Paizo to run their Pathfinder Society events, several of those over the course of the weekend. And as a result, they have a really great benefits package. They give you lots of great stuff for helping them out. And one of those things being a badge and 1/4 of a room. They put you in a room with 3 other people. And at first I was like, wow, that's fantastic. I can't believe they give you a room. I contacted them back and I said, what are the details? They gave me the information. I said, okay, sign me up, I'm in. And then I got to talking to some people and talking to my wife, and agonizing is a good word for it, all night last night. To the point to where I don't think I went to sleep until nearly 1 a.m. because I'd been laying there thinking about it the entire night. And once I did fall asleep, I got to dreaming about the situation. And when I woke up this morning, I realized that it's just not possible. It's not something that I can do. Not at this point. I mean, with 4 people in a room, that means there's a good chance that I'm going to be relegated to sleeping on the floor. I can't sleep on a floor. I can't even sleep on a bad bed. I just can't sleep like that at all. I used to be able to sleep anywhere. I can't sleep on a couch. I pretty much have to sleep on a good, comfortable bed. It's just, I guess, one of the things that's a problem with being a person my size. On top of that, being a person my size, even if they decided that they weren't going to put people on the floor and maybe people were just going to sleep in the same bed together, I can't fit in a double bed with another person. I'm really quite large for that idea. And then there's the issues of, being a bigger person. Generally, I snore. So then I'm going to have to subject people to that issue. And, all those other things that are involved in that. And on top of that, then also there's the idea of being at the con for 4 days, walking around, and everything else. And last year, one day of the con completely kicked my ass. Granted, this is a year later. I am about, 25 pounds lighter than I was last year. And I'm a bit more active than I was last year, but I still don't see myself being able to do that. Being active for 4 days, pretty much nonstop. I mean, when you're working for them at a level that it requires you to get or the level that they require rather for you to get a room, there's a decent number of hours put in over the course of 4 days. I have multiple slots over the course of the 4-day period, anywhere from 8 a.m. to midnight, different periods of time that they were looking for me to work. Some of those periods of time we're sitting at a table demoing things to people, which is fine. But some of those periods of time we're going to be running around the room, making sure everybody had what they needed, picking up things, collecting things, stuff like that. And that was going to be at the end of the week. That really scared me, I have to say. The idea of doing that really, honestly scared me. So I decided I'm not going. And it upsets me. It really does. To think that I have to deny myself doing something that I really want to do because of my weight just really bugs me. I know a lot of people out there that I've talked to about it have said, don't let it get to you, don't worry about it. You know, it'll be fine, it's not going to be as bad as you think. But people out there aren't like me. They don't deal with the issues that I have to deal with being this size. So, while I thank everybody for their comments, as of right now, it looks like I'm not going to Gen Con. I would really have liked to have met some of you out there that watch. Some of the people that I met last year. You know, gotten to hang out and talk about things and play some games and things like that, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be possible. So I apologize to a lot of people. I apologize mostly to Stu over at douchydm.com. He allowed me to get a press pass using their name, and now it looks like I'm not going to be able to use it. If there's anyone out there that is part of that blog that watches these, that is going to go to Gen Con and would like a press pass, let me know. I'll see what I can do about getting it transferred over to you. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about. There is one piece of good news this week. I am back down to 475. Whatever was going on with my weight in the last 2 weeks, I guess, is over. The yo-yo has stopped for now. Back to the 475. The scale actually kept dipping down to 474 a tiny bit as I was standing there, so it is even possible that I might be even a little bit lighter than 475. So, yeah, there is a bit of good news there at least. Hopefully there might be some good news with this job interview. It's a company that sells eye-based products, you know, glasses and things like that. They want me for a sales position, so hopefully that works out well. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short. It's shorter than the rest of them because I have to finish getting ready for my interview. But I just wanted to go ahead and talk to everybody about this and get it out there. So thanks very much for watching, you guys. Keep waging the war against your waistline. I'm your Portly Paladin. You have a good one.